From the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio, this is Marquette Now.
Hello, I'm Liam McCartney.
And I'm Kylie Brockway. Welcome to Marquette Now.
Coming up, a new program to help with food insecurity.
MUPD making a fun weekend a safe one as well.
You're not policing a crime problem, you're kind of policing a behavior problem.
Overcoming challenges to reach new heights.
And later, basketball season is just 5 days away.
The countdown to Election Day is winding down.
The Marquette Law School releases their final election poll before voters hit the booths next Tuesday.
Republican incumbent Senator Ron Johnson is supported by 50% of likely voters, and Democratic Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes by 48% in the new poll.
The governor race between Democratic incumbent Tony Evers and Republican Tim Michels is a dead heat, with both candidates polling at 48%.
The candidates have just 6 days to make a final push to voters. Senior Week celebrations are on the chopping block.
The celebration for the class of 2024 is potentially being canceled.
The Office of Engagement and Inclusion puts on activities as a way for seniors to celebrate before graduation.
Commencement would be held directly after exams with this change.
Class of 2024, I recommend speaking up to the university, telling them we don't stand for this, and hopefully that us voicing our discontent with this decision, considering no students were taken into account, will help them change the decision earlier rather than later, because later there's not very many options for us.
You know, it's difficult. If I'd probably want some more transparency to see kind of, is there an option between what we get to choose as students? Like, could we choose what programs we want to see cut? Or is that something we should just leave up to administration?
No official announcement has been made by the university, and more details will not be known until the spring of 2023.
Senior Week for the class of 2023 will still be held.
Some students might not think twice before grabbing a meal at one of the campus dining halls. The new Swipe Out program helps commuter students afford healthy meals during the school day. Marquette Now's Charlotte Martin shares a bit of the story.
For Marquette commuters, getting breakfast isn't as easy as grabbing a smoothie from Schrader or a bagel from Einstein's. Juliette Perez, a familiar face in the commuter lounge, shares some struggles she and her fellow students face.
I have that, but I know that I've seen commuters myself that are always like coming in the lounge, trying to see if maybe there's something they can find to eat, or if there's some like event where they're giving free food.
Finding an affordable, healthy meal is difficult around campus. Having a meal swipe with healthy meals would mean a lot to us commuters. Yeah.
Finally, Marquette has a solution. Swipe Out Hunger is a new program that gives 15 free meal swipes per semester to any Marquette students without a meal plan.
Being used to living at home, I think food is it's seen as unlimited, while here I realize that food is much more limited in comparison.
Marquette University's Neighborhood Kitchen implemented Swipe Out Hunger to provide for students facing food insecurity, which affect 1 in 5 Marquette students.
I hope Marquette over the years does invest more in commuters, because we are a big community here at Marquette, and we're just students like everybody else. Definitely beneficial, because I feel like I would be okay if I didn't have that, but I know that I've seen commuters myself that are always like coming in the lounge, trying to see if maybe there's something they can find to eat, or if there's some like event where they're giving free food. Or at home they're struggling with food too, so I think it's definitely beneficial for a lot of students.
Swipe Out Hunger applications will be available through the Marquette Backpack program on MUSG's Instagram for all those interested in a free, tasty meal. Charlotte Martin, Marquette Wire.
Fiserv continues their development beyond the basketball scene in the heart of downtown. Banking technology company Fiserv announces their plan to move their headquarters from suburban Brookfield into downtown Milwaukee. Their new headquarters will be located next door to the 3rd Street Market. Fiserv is a Fortune 500 company and will bring 250 jobs in the next 5 years. They eventually plan to bring nearly 800 jobs in the future. This project joins numerous other developments downtown, including the Wisconsin Center renovation and future Iron District Soccer Stadium.
Marquette becomes the first institute of higher education to participate in the WAVE program.
The WAVE, or Wave Stewardship Verified Program, is a 6-step methodology that aims to guide companies and organizations through prioritizing their water goals, as well as verifying their water exclusively beyond just the city of Milwaukee. This means safer and cleaner water for students on campus. National Geographic's Best of the World list is a prestigious compilation of Earth's top 25 travel destinations. National Geographic's travel editors designate Milwaukee as a top destination for 2023. It's only one of 5 places in the United States on the list for next year. Milwaukee was chosen for its support of the local arts community, Deer District, the Riverwalk, and the Harley-Davidson Museum.
The Backpack program is hosting a food drive now through November 11th. The program encourages students to donate non-perishable items at collection boxes throughout Rainer Memorial Libraries. The drive aims to make food more accessible to students in need, as well as highlight the importance of ending food insecurity.
Jazz music and tradition unites a small group of students and faculty. Marquette Now Natalia Milusnik composes the story.
The Jazz Ensemble celebrated Halloween weekend with a concert at Marquette's very own, the Union Sports Annex. Musicians from different backgrounds came together and shared their love, passion, and talent for jazz.
I think I've met a lot of my best friends in band. You spend so much time with them at rehearsal and at the pep band games.
Sure, I mean, it's anybody who wants to play, which is great. A lot of schools, you can only play in some of the ensembles if you're a music major. But here, anybody who wants to play can play.
Students with prior instrumental experience are encouraged to join the ensemble.
You spend so much time with these people, and like you get to create something with them. So it's like you just get really close to them through all the time and like your shared experiences. And it's just like such an accepting community here, like all sorts of different people.
The lighting of a lamp is a tradition that's done before the start of every performance. It signifies lighting a path for the younger musicians. The members of the ensemble share the light of the lamp, just like they share their passion for jazz. I'm Natalia Milusnik, Marquette Wire News.
The next Jazz Ensemble show will be hosted in December. Those looking to watch a different kind of show have a way to get tickets to the hottest act in town. NBA tickets can be expensive for college students, but since 2017, the Milwaukee Bucks Student Rush program is changing that narrative. Scan the QR code to register. Students can also sign up with their marquette.edu email to receive daily emails to claim Milwaukee Bucks tickets for as low as $4 and sometimes even free.
Trans Compassion Week kicks off on November 14th. The Week of Observation aims to support and uplift trans and gender diverse students. The LGBTQ+ Resource Center hosts this week of events. This is the 3rd consecutive year that the week has been held.
While students celebrate Halloween, the Marquette University Police Department is making sure it's all treats and no tricks.
TG Dysart treats us to more.
Students walking and construction workers working. It's nothing out of the ordinary. But in just a few hours' time, this campus will be the spookiest place to be because it's Halloween. And students had big plans.
I had fun with my friends. We went out and had some fun and dressed up. It's a good weekend.
But a good weekend is not possible without a safe weekend first.
So we're not doing as much traffic enforcement. We're not doing as much patrol outside of those areas. We're trying to get our squads into the neighborhoods where there's going to be parties and there's going to be people out moving from house to house.
Now this upcoming Halloween night, students will be out and about per usual, but right behind me here at the Marquette University Police Department, officers are working tirelessly to ensure that this spooky night can be as fun and safe as possible. Now, I've talked to a few officers already and they said that adding campus limo drivers and more patrol units are just some of the measures that they're taking for this upcoming celebration to make it as fun and safe as possible. But with so many students to protect, MUPD and students have some advice for students on Halloween night.
Just to be more prepared for the unexpected and to have more units out and all that stuff, ready for whatever happens.
And according to MUPD, things seem to go just as well as they could.
A lot of things drive a Halloween weekend or a National Marquette Day or any days like that. I would say we were relatively successful. There were no major incidents of concern that occurred.
I'm TJ Dysart, Marquette Wire News.
I'm Chesney Wardell here with your current weather report right now. Today we are standing clear with a high of 60 degrees. Our humidity is falling between 64%. However, no need to expect any precipitation as of right now. Our winds are coming from the direction of the south-southeast 9 miles per hour. That's it for now, but stick around. We'll be back with a closer look at the weather after this quick break.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Roll over. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor. It's time we take a step forward, come together,
and discover
how accepting.
51 degrees, so you might want to grab a lightweight jacket for when you head out tonight. Our humidity is 78%, but again, no need to expect any rain tonight. The winds are coming from the south-southwest direction of 9 miles per hour, but moving on to our state overnight lows. We are ranging in about 50 degrees, with Madison and Milwaukee ranging in 51, and then you have Green Bay at 50 degrees, and then La Crosse are in the high 50s. But you can expect tomorrow's highs to fall into the 70s. They're giving us a pop of sunshine. Wausau and Green Bay are in the low 70s, and then you have Madison and Milwaukee also falling within the 70 range as well. But tomorrow will be even more fantastic. Although it'll be partly cloudy, we still will be in a high of 67 degrees. Our humidity will be in 60%, but again, no need for rain on that day. But our winds are coming from the south at 14 miles per hour. Going to our 5-day weather forecast, although we'll be in around the 60-degree range, do expect some precipitation, so feel free to bring out the raincoat and rain boots as well for those days coming forth. That's all for this week's weather. Kylie and Liam, do you guys have your umbrellas ready for the rest of the week?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, if it is going to be rain, I think it'd be a good time to go to an improv show. The Fugees Improv Group holds their fall improv show at Marquette Hall.
The group is now 5 weeks removed from their 12-hour improv marathon.
They welcome 2 new first-year members to the team. They're known as the Newgies to the group.
So we had our previous Newgies who have now, they've done a full year with us, they did their 12-hour show, they've integrated great. This is their first show not as Newgies. And in their place we have 2 new Newgies to replace them, our 2 freshmen, Leah and Josh, and they are doing wonderful.
The Fugees usually host an event every month. Details about future events will be revealed at a later time.
A group of students are helping those with disabilities ascend to new heights. Marquette Now's Andrew Hubbock catches up with these rock stars.
Here in the climbing community, everyone starts at rock bottom. What begins as a way to seek discomfort becomes a lifestyle of self-improvement. For people like Margaret, a nonverbal climber with Down syndrome, rock climbing changes life at its very core.
You did a great job. You did great. That was the best I ever seen. Margaret started maybe about a year ago, and she has progressed so much where she is now reaching, and she's stepping and pushing on her own.
1, 2, 3, go ahead, big stand, big stand, big stand.
When people first come, you know, they're really timid or shy, you know,
if they've never rock climbed before, this is a crazy experience. There's lots of other people, lots of loud noises and music and stuff, so it can be a little bit overwhelming at first.
As thrilling as this activity is, it does serve a larger purpose. Adaptive rock climbing has been found to be therapeutic physically and mentally for those with disabilities. Through climbing, Margaret is reaching new heights, and not just in the gym.
At home, what do I see? So she normally can't go up and down the stairs without holding onto the railing. And lately she has been because her core strength is better.
Margaret has her sights set high. Now that she has a knack for climbing, there's no turning back. And with the Marquette Adaptive Abilities Club by her side, there ain't no mountain high enough for Margaret.
So Margaret knows what she wants to do. She knows where she wants her hand to go, but sometimes her braiding her hand, there's a disconnect. And when they're on the wall, they're able to help her.
This group of talented climbers brings a new meaning to uplifting others through volunteering. They use their own abilities to help others unlock ones they didn't know they had.
Like they say the phrase, like seeing the able, not the disabled. So when you see a disability, it doesn't mean that they have certain limitations. You know, they can do so much more than that label that they have.
The only thing stronger than these climbers is the bond that holds them together.
Nice. Oh, did you like that one? Can I get a high five? Did you have fun? Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm Andrew Hubbock, Marquette Wire News.
Struggling with headaches? There's a doctor in the School of Dentistry who can help. Dr. Yasser Khalid is an oral and face pain specialist at the School of Dentistry. He's working to help students and faculty manage headaches and other pain.
We've been always trying to manage temporomandibular joint disorders and especially migraines and headaches. And there's actually different ways that we do that. We do have Botox shots, we have trigger point injections, we have night guards.
He's been with us now for about 5 years, and he's somebody that has done a lot of work throughout the university with people that suffer from like migraines. It falls between the crack of medicine and dentistry, where my doctors, like my primary physician, would always say that's out of my scope, and my orthodontist would be like, well, we can't really do anything for that besides like telling me not to chew chewy foods.
You can call this phone number to schedule an appointment.
The Alumni Memorial Union ballrooms are undergoing a totally off-the-hook makeover. Late Night Marquette will host a 70s-themed roller skating night on Saturday, November 5th at 7 p.m. Games, contests, and breakfast for dinner will be provided. There's a commuter student bringing people together with a full-scale piece of art.
Marquette Now's Timothy Lateau takes us next to her canvas.
Most artists work alone.
Oh my gosh, you guys proud of me?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Not Maryam Ali. She works at Milwaukee Oats, a graphic design company that often serves underrepresented communities.
She brings an interesting perspective to our shop. You know, she has a lot of insight into advertising and community partnerships, and that's what we're all about.
Maryam is also all about giving back to her own community by painting a mural in the Commuter Student Lounge.
I spent over 2 weeks designing the mural.
You can see the mural we're doing. This was all Miriam's design, and she pretty much painted most of it.
Came here at 10 a.m. and I left at 7 p.m. So I'm really invested in this project.
That's an understatement. But her fellow commuters are happy to help her too.
I had to stop breathing for like 2 seconds to So I had an idea for a comic book design because it'd be easier to like paint on the wall and have everyone else help out.
I would be happy about it. I just hope I don't get any paint on myself now that I think about it.
A little paint pales in comparison to the significance of the small room commuter students make their own away from home.
The lounge is really important for us because like without that we wouldn't really have anywhere to go and meet new people.
It's like a commuter's foothold on campus, really.
That's why I kind of organized this mural to give a way to like bring people together.
Bringing people together through a wall of art. I'm Timothy Lateau, Marquette Wire News.
That's great to see, and especially great to see works of art on campus done by Marquette students. That's it for now.
Stay with us, because Amiral Vavanchi will be back with sports right after this.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
What are you looking for?
Welcome back. I'm Aviral Rajvanshi with your Marquette Now Sports Report. The women's soccer team season comes to an end. The Golden Eagles had hoped to strike big on senior night against the Xavier Musketeers. Marquette lit up the scoreboard first thanks to senior midfielder Katrina Wethrell. Xavier answered back with a goal of their own, but both teams struggled to score another point and left Valley Fields in a draw 1-1. This marks the end of the women's soccer team postseason hopes and 2022 campaign. Currently, the men's soccer team is facing off against St. John's here at Valley Fields in their regular season finale. Right now, the Red Storm lead the match 1-0. No matter the outcome, this is the last game for the men's soccer team as they fail to make the 2022 postseason due to their conference record. The countdown is on. We are officially 5 days away from 2 years of the Shaka Smart era. The men's open up their season on Monday versus Radford at Pfizer Forum. The team is composed of 10 returners, 1 transfer, and a talented first-year class, including high school standout Sean Jones. Despite recent additions, the rest of the Big East coaches have Marquette set to finish in the 9th place in the preseason coaches poll. Instead of focusing on the outside noise, head coach Shaka Smart is focusing on his team and their growth during the off-season prep.
You know, we're about relationships, growth, and victory. Those are our 3 core values. That's not going to change. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I'm trying to be better with relationships. I'm trying to make sure that as a staff, we do an even better job of helping our players grow. Trying to do an even better job of helping them understand what goes into winning and how to create success, not just in a basketball game, but in life. And so,
coming up this week, we have the women's volleyball team opening up at a 2-game stand versus Georgetown at the Al McGuire Center Friday at 7 p.m. The next day, they take on Villanova at the Al at 6 p.m. The men's and women's basketball teams play their season opener on Monday. The women play at noon against Farley Dickinson, and the men play against Radford at 7:30 p.m. That's it for sports, but don't go anywhere. Marquette Now will be right back with our Down to the Wire segment.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Welcome back. I'm Liam McCartney.
And I'm Kylie Brockway. Marquette Wire Executive News Editor Julia Bouzahab joins us now for tonight's edition of Down to the Wire.
She's with John Liuzzi to talk about the Golden Eagle edition of the Marquette Tribune.
Thank you so much, guys. How are you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing good, Julia. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. So first, you want to talk a little bit about the Golden Eagle that you have right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Golden Eagle is our yearly sports insert, which is 10 pages of all basketball content across both men's and women's basketball. So 14 combined feature stories this year in our sports roundup, which is our new part of the sports section where we do a little bit of a scoreboard. We added a recap of what both teams did last year, how far they went, and then we also put a couple players who we think on both teams who might have some big seasons ahead of them.
And what was kind of the planning process that you had throughout this whole insert?
Yeah, for sure. So it kind of started around October 1st for me, where I'm kind of thinking of ideas of how we can make this different than the one last year, since I was able to be a part of that production. And then it's just asking my beat reporters and my members on my desk to send story pitches in. And I kind of look through those, and then we assign stories from that standpoint. And then we also just kind of go into the media days. So both teams host local media days for all media to talk to the teams and the coaches and the players. And that's where we conduct the interviews, and then they do the stories, and then we put it all together on Monday night right here inside the newsroom.
So you had 2 stories inside
Yes.
of the Golden Eagle this week. Can you tell us a little bit about what those were?
So the first one on the front page right down here in the bottom right is about Jordan King, a senior guard on the women's basketball team who is a first generation college graduate inside her family. So that was a really important thing for both her and her parents, since her parents weren't able to fulfill their college time. And as you know, it was very important for them to see Jordan able to reach her goals, and she was able to do this in 3 years, which is really impressive for a student athlete because of the time and the commitment that is needed for them on the court. And she was able to do it for 3 years in psychology. So she's now in a master's program. So that was one of them. On the back page of the insert is my other one, which is about Zach Reitzel, who is the lone transfer on the men's team this year. He's coming all the way over from Loyola New Orleans down in the NIIA, National Player of the Year. So he's bringing a winning mentality to Marquette. That's what assistant coach Cody had liked to talk to them, and that's what kind of intrigued them to bring him all the way up here to Milwaukee. It's a big jump for him, but he's willing and he's open for the challenge.
And what was kind of your inspiration behind picking these stories, and why did you decide to write them?
Yeah, for sure. So the women's basketball one actually was tossed to us by our content coach, Randy Hausman, and we were kind of talking about how we kind of see a different angle of Jordan. We've talked about Jordan, we've written so many articles about her, but this was a different angle for her and something that's really important for her, and we were able to spotlight that. And then for the men's side, it's the lone transfer, and it's the newest member of this team where Coach Shaka Smart looking to build on year 2 now, and he's a veteran. So he won down in the NIAA, 37-1 last year for the Wolfpack. So he's bringing it over to Milwaukee now in the Big East, a big jump, but he brings a defensive anchor, which is a big thing I think Marquette fans will look forward to.
And what was your favorite part about the Golden Eagle?
Yeah, I think my favorite part is just how gorgeous this front page kind of looks like. Our designer, RJ Ciano, did a great job on that. We were able to bring different things from different newspapers in this country and able to put it together on our own. So really good. We have a really diverse range of stories as well. Kristen Parisi, our executive sports producer, was able to talk to some NBA players for a story that she did on men's basketball, assistant coach DeAndre Haynes. So very different stories than what we might be able to do on a weekly sports section, because we have to cover all the other sports on campus.
Well, that's all the time that we have tonight. Thank you so much for coming on the show with me, and I'll throw it back to Liam and Kylie in the studio.
That's our report for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Liam McCartney.
And I'm Kylie Brockway. Remember to check MarquetteWire.org for all the latest campus news. Good night, Marquette.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America.